In the following video, I cover a few different things, but in the video, and I'll just leave that there, let you look at it. But in the video, the last video, there's the first one and the second one. The last video is from the first video actually I ever made. First time I ever made a video. The websites, emails, everything in it is no longer valid. Okay? So don't use that. The phone number 5619 or something like that. That's no good. Websites, no good. So what you do is go to thespiritualfoundation.com to access anything. Okay. You can also go to Arae.com, but it just kind of puts you in and out to the spiritual foundation. Just wanted to say that before you watch the videos, because at the end I don't want anyone going to those other places that don't exist anymore or leave you frustrated. I'll put a footnote in the video too. Enjoy the videos, folks. There's a little change from the first one, which is just yesterday or something like that, just recently, to the first one. But the attitude and thought process, you'll notice, stays the same. I am consistent. I change a little bit as I go through having a life in a physical body. But I'm still me, just like you're still you. Okay? Have fun. Good morning, folks. It's 5:39 a.m. Monday, September 5th, 2016. As most of you listening already know, my name is Essex. I get called a lot of things, but I would have to say, if I was going to be called something, I don't like it, but maybe a spiritualist might be what it is. Please don't ever call me a psychic or religious, because I'm not. I was religious when I was a kid. People have metaphysical abilities. The word psychic is a term that's thrown around everywhere that has no real meaning. It's like a label that's flying around, and then someone takes it and slaps it on your forehead and said, he thinks he's a psychic. And then Herky's waking up. I love you, Herky buddy. Hey, Herc. Herky's the one dog I have left that I've been saving. Come on, Herc. Come on in, buddy. I got a bed sheet that I pulled down. Oh, come on, buddy. Good boy, honey. Come on, buddy. Come on. Herc, come on. Herky's like me, getting on in the years and getting ready to go home. I understand metaphysical. I started coming awake strong in 2008. I've always been different. Not better than. Don't ever assume that you're better than anything or anything is better than you. Most of you that would be listening to me for any length of time are more prone to feel that others are better than you. That's wrong. No one is better than you. Not me, not anyone. Even Super Herky. Good boy, Herc. I've been going into people for years now, thousands of times, opening up your abilities. There's a lot of people who are incredibly strong on the planet in body now. Some of them can do this too. Burju Gosler has been doing it for a while. Paul Cherick is just starting to do it. These are Source family members. The spirit inside them is literally Source energy. It contains all the different frequencies of energy that exist everywhere, plus more. Excuse me. There's others here that are waking up, getting strong. Anne is just starting to out in the western U.S. and that's Anne Ray's. She has a different last name right now. But there's also Siobhan out in Ireland. Folks, there's a ton of them. Susanna Torque, she's out in Hungary. She's getting a whole lot stronger. There's a lot of other players that haven't come up yet. Barry and Petra out in Canada, they're incredibly powerful. They're going to have a lot of visitation, like Paul and Burju and Deanna already are, from our friends out in space. They're friends, family. Anyway, they can crank you up also. Okay, my energy is a little different. The very first being literally grew and evolved in something called the first dimension by happenstances. 5 different energy fields came together and they got bigger, bigger, stronger. But there was too much heavy particulate matter that got involved inside this reaction, this chemical and metaphysical energetic reaction, and it was 27.5% negative. It had some issues. But it cleaned out part of its energy. And the first being it actually created, well, it split itself into 2 for company because it was lonely, male and female. And the very first being it created was the angel you call Lucifer. Angel spirit is both male and female. When spirit's released from anything, there's a natural, excuse me, drink a lot of coffee, I love it. There's a format built into the energy. It was done by the original first being, but it first separated itself and it stayed there ever since. It made it part of itself, therefore it's part of us. As the spirit comes out, it separates into male and female. The only time that doesn't happen is when angels are created, and that's the format's changed for them. Angels, all angels have always been male and female, and they're not what you think either. Now, after that was done, then there was 2 large pieces of really clean spirit energy that was put out, like next to nothing in there. Well, the angels were released. Sorry, the first group of angels were released. And then after that, there was 2 huge source fields of energy. It's not an actual sphere; it's a globule of energy. That's spirit, though, sentient energy. 2 huge ones. One of them had a little more love and incredible fortitude in it, and the other 2 were incredibly powerful too, and they're huge. And then they split into male and female. And then once that happened, that larger one with, had more love and more fortitude in there. Those frequencies that are that, they literally started developing a little bit. Once they settled down, the strongest parts of them were taken out and set aside. That's Arae and Lilly. Arae is incredible fortitude. There's nothing that's ever been that strong. That was to start with. That was from the start. And then Lilly still had a ton of fortitude in her, but she had even more heart in her. Now, just as Lilly and Arae are the primary focal points of 2 energy fields we call Lilith and Aramelius, the big ones, they're the focal points. As they came out and they started having lives, they are the original Adam and Eve. And as they had lives and grew a little bit, they, of course, almost right away, they got their own focal points. Okay, what's inside me is the primary focal. There's still a bit of it left in me, but what's not is floating around on the other side. It's the primary focal point of Arae. And then there's other parts of Lilly that are here in body. All of the earliest focal points that are in there of Lilly, that are all the earliest focal points of Lilly are in body. Excuse me. Except for the second. Her name is Tiger Lily, and she's healing. She's on the other side healing, and she won't be together yet before. She won't be together yet before Arae gets back what's in me. Okay. That being said, I'm like I've been called a hammer with a heart in it, and honestly, I think that kind of fits. I have a lot of compassion, a lot of love, a strong sense of honor. Excuse me, I'm choking on some of my words. I'm being messed with right now. It's a part of Lilly. I'll explain that in a minute. Lilly and Arae have grown so big over the whatever eons, whatever name you want to make, for incredible long amounts of time. And it's like a pot of water. When you start boiling it, the water gets more active, stronger, and then little pieces jump out. When if the water's close to the top, little splurts will come out. That's what happens with energy too. Energy and water have a lot of similar traits. So anyway, it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't ever shed a tear, because I do. I try not to ever let that come out on camera, but what you call the field is literally part of what I am. It's everywhere. And I feel things, understand things. Because of what's in me, that's no better than a stick of mud. That's I feel stuff. I am the field. I feel it everywhere. If I go into feeling the abuse that there is everywhere, I can't handle it. The human body can't handle that. All of you are so big. Your spirit right now, you're so huge. If we were to take you and put you in any state, your energy's flowing out all over the place. A lot of you, most of you that I deal with that come to me for this, you're already who you are, and you want to be stronger. You understand. You can look at me on camera. You see me. You feel me. You say, okay, I'm going there. This has been happening. I got shut down. Kind of shut myself down. Got shut down. At the end of 2015, and started again in 2016, and already, this channel, so from April 2nd, has gone from 0 to whatever, just over 2,000 subscribers. But I don't have a show to put on. I've talked a lot about me so far because I'm trying to explain what I am for all the new people coming in. I want you to be able to understand me. I'm going to tell you, I am telling you what I am and what some of my family members are. In a way, it's like they're my children, because these folks came from Lilly and Arae, these two powerhouses I talked about, put their energy together when the third wave of souls was 80% released, and then they came out. There's new animals that came out, there's new angels that came out, and then there's new smaller pieces of Lilly and Arae. These animals are source animals. They're source energy, but 55-60% animal. The new angels are complete source energy, but they're 55-60% angel, and the smaller parts of Lilly and Arae are exactly that. They're the original first being male and female were causing all kinds of problems in the creation that they put together. They originally took Arae. As soon as Arae and Lilly were formed, then Lilly was told that she would be the living, so to speak, mother. She'd be having lives, and she would understand having lives, and she would grow in size, is what they were saying. And she would be an energy that would be in and out of bodies and whatever, learn, be a loving entity. But the original first being didn't care too much about love. It was 27.5% negative frequencies due to the amount of heavy particulate matter that was involved inside the energy, chemical, metaphysical reaction that happened of those 5 energies to make it what it is. The 5th energy field that came into this was actually a form of it's like a form of electromagnetic energy, not too much on like electricity. These human bodies have it going well through us. Wonder why? It's almost like it's part of us. Things are much simpler than you think. It just has to be introduced to you. My house is a mess. I used to be a mechanic. I've always been into fixing things. My toolbox, everything was organized. I could tell you what, I could tell anybody where any wrench or anything was. The house is in total disarray now. This is the first book I wrote, Creation is Beginning in Your Origin. This is how the first being came into being, how everything came out, what happened. This is how everything got started. This is the birth of creation and you. There's also another group of beings that no one's ever talked about. Folks, I see this stuff. I'm there. Some people have said, you know, Jay, if you'll, when I first started doing this, Jay, if you'll tell me what books you bought to get all this information, I'll buy every one of them. I said, you don't understand. I said, I'm standing on the corner just looking at everything going by and just telling you about what's going by. You can go back through time and find out the same for yourself. Now, why would you believe a statement like that? Why would you believe anything I say? I'm giving you the information. You know, you do whatever you want with it. Okay, I'm not here to make a parade. I'm not here to make a club. Some people have tried to make some groups about me. Actually said I started it. Yeah, I was a little bit aggressive when I shut them down, you know, verbally. I didn't knock on the door, tell them they can't do it anymore. I just put it like it is over the internet. I'm not associated with any group other than thespiritualfoundation.com. Excuse me. Deanna is her name as an artist. She's does graphic, computer graphic stuff too. She set up that website. She's source energy from Lilly and Arae. She calls me Papa J. So cute. She's source, but her internal frequencies are more animal than they are anything else. It's very hard for her to be in a physical body, a physical human body, when she's mostly animal essence. That the part, you know, she is source, but she's more animal essence than normal. When Lilly and Arae released their energy, put it together and released it, it came out and flowed to be whatever it would be. Okay, that makes everyone just a little bit different, and you know, variety is a good thing anyway. And Burju, she's really strong. She's heavier in the solar plexus and other stuff. Everything's working fine. That's the way it is with almost everyone. You all have all these abilities, but you have one, what I call a core orientation. There's one energy field within you that's stronger than the other ones. Very few people are, you know, really, really balanced. And that has its problems too. So, you know, it's no big deal. And there's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. If you can get this where you say something's perfect, you get there, then there's someplace else to improve that. There's no such thing. Perfection, to try to be perfect, is insanity, is to make yourself insane. It's crazy. Improve yourself. Be happy with your improvements. But if you don't let it go, it'll drive you and everyone around you that you care about nuts. And if you don't care about anyone, well, you won't be listening to me for long. You would have already shut out. Now, I was talking a little bit ago about a piece of Lilly bothering me, about the pot boiling and everything. Anytime I've done I stopped doing consults. I've had to do a couple. Sometimes people call in really needing a consult. Usually it's a family member or something. And folks, I'm expensive. I didn't start out that way. I did the first 800 something consults free. And then I couldn't eat. You know, I was losing everything, so I had to finally take money. But excuse me. I love my coffee, but sometimes it doesn't love me. Heck, it's $800 for 45 minutes, and I'll do a maximum of 2 people. And it's called a crank up. I don't expect to do maybe 3 or 4 more. I've been waiting to leave this body for a long time. I've said I'm going because I saw it, and then here comes something else on the other side. I can see what I was starting to say earlier. I can see what I need for you in consult, no problem. But can I see everything at one time? No. I can relax and go feel something, go see something, but I can't see everything at one time. One time Gaia, she's the energy of the first planet ever created, 270 times the mass of Jupiter. Okay, she's huge. As a matter of fact, there's a stone called Gaironite that you can find here. People have given some the whatchamacallit, Mineralogical Society, whatever. They gave it some kind of name, and I can't remember what it is, but it's different. It's very strong energy when you can feel energy. And they said origin. Where's it from? And it said unknown. It's not from here. Literally, that's how they classify it, as unknown. Its origin. They have no idea where it came from. Came here a long time ago. Anyway, that's the energy, the part of the planet, her planet, that's in Essenite and star Essenite. That's Essenite. Gabriel finally blew up. This is the second book of the creation series. The first one's only 134 pages. This is 212 or something. I don't know. The actual page number in the back is always different than this says 392 on the last page, but you know, with publishers they count the all the other Roman numeral pages and everything. But it's creation, it's journey evolving in a paradise. There's no such thing as a perfect paradise, but if you've been in lived in a cave all your life suffering, and you came out onto the light, onto a nice beautiful beach with water and fresh fruit and everything everywhere, then that would be paradise. All that's in there. Plus, how do you talk to stone? It's in here. How do you deal with people who have their heads up the butt and says there's no such thing as a psychic? Let them say that. That's good. That's good. That helps you. You tell them you're not a psychic. You know, don't even call me that. I'm a metaphysical practitioner. There's a big difference. Everyone has metaphysical abilities. What do you call the mother's intuition? Well, that's that's a mother's intuition. That's you know, what about animal instinct? Oh, well, yeah, that's just animals. They seem to know things. Yeah, when people get stupid like that, and then they say that humans can't, that's ignorance. But once you explain that everyone has these abilities, you say, what do you call it? You know, that's a metaphysical ability. It's not physical. It's other than physical. Metaphysical means other than physical. What's love? It's metaphysical ability. Compassion. It's metaphysical. You want to tell me there's no such thing as metaphysical? Good luck. I'm not going to talk to you. People say, how many fingers do I have behind? If you were real psychic, how many fingers do I have behind my back? And I say, I don't know, but check it out. I got one right there for you. You know, it's like, don't even go there with me. I've turned down 2 people in consults. That's it. I've done hundreds of them, thousands individual consults. I never added them up. I've cranked up a ton of people when it wasn't a consult. When I was first doing this stuff, I'd go everywhere, just meet them and do it to them. They're like, sometimes they go running. I look at this one lady one time. It was at a metaphysical fair, and she had a strong blue aura coming from her. Auras, the auric expression that comes off of a frequency, is the actual color you're seeing. That's the actual aura. It's an auric expression. It's a byproduct of a frequency. You see the color if you know what the actual frequency is behind it. When you see a color, you can tell what it is, but usually you can use your heart to feel it. But when you're just starting, especially, and for all different auras that you can see, because you don't always see everything, I should have put it in the book, in the second book. In the second book, in the back, there's all kinds of stuff dealing with people who say there's no such thing as psychics. The new clean source energy negativity amounts from Lilly and Arae. The new clean source family from Lilly and Arae, what their negativity percentages are, what the original ones are from the everything that was made in the beginning. Earth and Ages timeline, approximate dates: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and we're now in the 6th. The 6th age is the 5th age was 750,000 years ago to 12/21/2012, and the 6th age started at 12/21/2012 and is still going on. 5 is the number of movement. There is incredible strong movement going on. More and more starships coming here from other places. More and more turmoil increasing everywhere. By the way, creation was built upon abuse, to abuse you, to make you bigger, stronger. So when it was time, the original first being, male and female, could take the actual spirit mates, put them together, not to make one, but put them together. It's like 2 hands coming together. They always separate. You can't make them one hand. Okay, that's what spirit's like. Thank you, little Lily. There's another part of Lily too, getting stupid. Anyway, again, this Lily thing, that's little pieces of the stuff that's jumped out of the boiling pot. Okay. Anyway, and then 6 is 6 stands for metaphysical abilities. It stands for intuition. So anyway. Let's see. There's also talking with stone. How do you talk with stone? The history of Lemuria and Atlantis, the real history, what happened. You won't find it anywhere else because no one else can see it. It's not written, until now, it wasn't written down anywhere. Oh, this guy Jay thinks he's so smart, or he's so cool, blah, blah. No, I'm not. I'm no better than a stick in mud, and I don't want to be. Look what mud gives us. Mud is awesome fertilizer, usually, fertile soil, and actually gives us food to eat to maintain life. Creation was built wrong on purpose to be abusive, because then the energy, the spirit comes out of, when the spirit's pushed in the body, literally what happens is that it's stress just being in there. And then you have a hard life. The more you beat it up, when it comes out, when you have a life and you come out of your body, you go like this, poof, you grow. Well, if you come out of your body and you've had a real stressed life, you go poof. It's like steroids. But when that happens, it builds up abusive frequencies within your body. When I crank you up, or when the others crank you up, as you and everything, that happens. I'm only going to do a couple more, okay? It's not that I can't do it. I'm stronger than I've ever been, mostly because there's more and more of me out of my body. But anyway, I'm nothing against anybody. I don't want to do anymore. I want to get the hell out of here. I have to get out of here. I have a job. I got to fix some stuff on the other side. Literally, I am the hammer with the heart in it. It's my job to set the new format. Not J, Essex, not this body. This is a tired old beat up body that's dying. And it just won't die soon enough. There's the whole format of existence on the other side, which runs this one, the second dimension. This is a third, then there's a second, and then there's a first, which is taboo. No one's allowed near there. Literally, part of me is over there. Part of Arae is over there, but it's actually part of me too. That will just not let anything near it. Nothing can go through. Okay. It's to keep everyone out of there. It's very strongly controlled, and the first dimension is going to be changed pretty soon. It's already been changed a little bit. Nothing negative is going to be allowed to come out of there anymore, and there's 4 new beings in there. So anyway, the Arae's going to go over there, change the format. There's a lot of stuff over there that does not want the old format to change. Now that the original first being male and female have been destroyed, the other large parts of source energy that were incredibly clean but extremely arrogant and abusive, they're dead. They're gone. Most all the first angels are dead and gone for the crimes against creation, against attacking creation's protector. Something I started to say twice, never did finish. In the beginning, the original male and female first being, shortly after Arae and Lilly were pulled out, Lilly was told she'd be like it's like loving mother energy that goes around, whatever, she'd have lives and learn. And then with Arae, when he came out, back then he was just one piece. He was told, we made you really strong for a reason. You're a protector. You'll grow by having lives, but you have to protect us. It was a 3-phase format. Number 1, protect the original first being male and female above everything else. Number 2, to literally protect everything they created. And number 3, when something else came out of the first dimension, I was to subdue it and control it through their wishes, with their wishes, whatever. So I said, sure, no problem. Excuse me just a minute. Stuff just won't leave me alone, man. Anyway, I've been fighting 8 years, real hard, night and day, 24/7. Stupidity on the other side. Anyway. So they said, that's what they said to Arae, and I remember the moment. What's in me, the focal point of Arae, that's got a piece of it still inside me, is literally it's so big it makes up 54% of what Arae is. I just kind of jerked my energy, jerked my body. Trying to push me to say it. I don't want to talk about me. I'm not about me. I'm about you. There's no JSX fan club. There's no nothing. This is about everybody becoming awake and aware of who they are, how cool they are, what they can do, what's been going on, why it's been done to you, and how it's changing. That's what's important, is that you all become who you are. That's why I call myself the janitor. I am. I clean up messes. I fix what's broken. I do almost all of it at night when no one's here. And then I go home. And you're supposed to come into a clean place of work to live. I'm working on that. I can't finish it until I get out of the damn body. But anyway, so that's what Arae was told, and I remember saying, okay, sure. I didn't know better. And then I started having some lives, and then I started understanding protection. Protection is something, when you protect something, you naturally build up compassion, honor, and equality. If you're given, if you're a sheep herder and you're given a flock of sheep, you must, and you're told your job is to protect them, you say, I will. You use your fortitude, you develop your sense of honor in the fact that you will protect these sheep no matter what. You're going to protect them. You're going to make sure they're safe. You don't care about dying. You're going to protect them. That's what you were made to do. That's the job you accepted. That's what you do. So anyway, that's your foreman. As you protect things, they literally figure out that you're protecting them. They show you compassion. You understand compassion. You learn compassion. You develop a sense of honor. Your fortitude increases. With the addition of compassion, it's even more important now for you to care for them. You already had the thing do or die to protect, but now there's compassion involved. You actually get stronger. This also relates to the power of the heart. And then the next thing you know, you figure out that you've already accepted all of them as being equal because you protect them with equal aggression. So you understand equality. Archangel Michael, he understands that. The angels have no feelings. They've never had a life. They've never been allowed to have them. They were servants. They were made to only serve the original first being. When it was time to keep you alive, they'd save you. When it's time to kill you, when it's time for you to die, good herky, honey. When it's time for you to die, they kill you. Time for you to break your arm, break your arm. For your daughter or son to die or get mutilated, yeah, they took care of that. Nothing is like what it says in your books and everything else. Boom. You want to read about what's out there, what's real? There it is. That's where you are. That's what happened around you. This is what was going on with you when you're out of your body. These religions are so crazy. I was religious when I was a kid. I was forced into it, but for good reason. It's insane. A perfect, all-loving, all-forgiving God that made hell to abuse you because he's pissed at you forever? What? That's like saying, here, you want to start a fire? Here, use some kerosene. But if you want to put it out, use kerosene. What? And there's no such thing as the Christian religion. Most all of them, not all of them, but most of them. I guess your biggest, whatever. They say you only have one life. Okay, where do all the new souls come from? Does this song go? Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's magic. Yeah, sure. They just keep coming out of nowhere. It's magic. There's no such thing as magic. What we call magic is something that's usually kind of cool and we don't understand it yet. If you went back in the Columbus times and flew a 747 through there, you know, that's an old jet, they got other ones, whatever, that would be magic. And it's not. It's a simple science that wasn't understood then. There's those spheres, those orbs that fly around all over the place. Lots of times they have a silver bluish color to them. Those are just that. They're like sensors. The orbs. They can. They have their own ability to transport themselves. They go subdimensional and take off. When something gets transported from a ship to the from one place to another, whether it's a person, whatever, how do they do that? They totally disintegrate the DNA and rebuild it? Hell no, you can't do that. You know, that just made no sense to me ever, but I knew something was going on when it happened 3 times right in front of me. Although it wasn't right in my face. People walking into a bathroom and then they don't walk out. You know, people walk into a closet, they don't walk out. And it's like, okay. And you open the closet and look, you know, and it's in a huge store. Or the bathroom at a Starbucks. I've talked about this in other videos. What happens is they'll press a button on a device, and literally there's an right where the button is pushed, there's like a red glow. The auric expression of the frequency that causes this is throws off a red auric expression, and right there, and then it goes off into orange, and it goes around the whole body. and then all of a sudden the body goes subdimensional and takes off. If you could imagine going to Alaska, okay, and there's a river that's frozen over and the ice might be this thick, okay, drill a hole through the ice and you get a semi-buoyant object like an apple. You drop the apple into it, as soon as it goes below the ice where the river's still flowing, and then poof, it takes off. That's what it's like. It goes subdimensional. It gets to where it's going, then it goes back into this dimension. So nothing's being torn down. You're changing dimensions. You're being moved in and out of dimensions. Dimensional barriers are not made not to flow through, except for just a couple of them. What's in me has built a lot of them, so I understand a little more about it. With the original male and female gone, with the other two large couples, the source energy, that were very clean, but had become arrogant and abusive, because that's the way everything was made to run by the original first being male and female. Your quote-unquote God was a nasty bitch and bastard. They wanted to abuse the hell out of everything because then it makes you bigger. But then when it was time to put the souls together into a new universe, then they would release their energy. A third of their energy would be released. It's spirit / energy, spirit is sentient energy, but the spirit, sentient energy, has its own energy field coming off of it. Usually we'll call it an aura or something, but it's an energy field that's not so much sentient, it's just energy. So as they released, all you can release when that happens is a third of your energy. You have to keep 2/3 of it. All you can get rid of is a third. And you push it to get that much out. And then that energy wave settles, almost like when you pour water over a car's hood that's been highly polished. It flows off and then it makes little like blobs, globules, whatever, of energy, of water, and then it rolls off the hood. As the energy field thins out, it makes those little like spheres, whatever, and then they vibrate and then separate into male and female. So the idea is, the more they abuse you, when you come out of the body and you're bigger, for more abuse, they kept growing the size of everyone, and then they take you, put you in one of these new universes, and then they, like they said, they were going to make you the mother and father of that universe, but instead of releasing 100 million small parts, you might release 1 billion. So that way they had more people. Why did they want so many people? Why were they trying to grow all that? Because they wanted praise. They wanted praise. They demanded praise when you're out of body. They demanded praise when you're in a body. Where do you think your religions came from? Their desire for praise. So when you do that, it's like taking steroids and stuff. There are effects that when you know someone personally taking steroids, before and after, you see how it changes them. It develops a lot of problems within them. Frequencies of stress that when you can see them, they look sick, real sick. First time I saw one, I started cranking people up and I went into them and I saw these weird things. I said, what the hell is that? And the first thing I was wondering, is this cancer? Do frequencies within someone actually get cancer and turn like this? No, they're additional ones that are put in there. It's part of your additional growth. So that's been stopped too. But see, the thing is, right now on the other side, when you get rid of, if you go up to a company, Xerox is one. Let's take one I really can't stand, Dow. Dow is so aggressively abusive, you have no idea. Anyway, most of you don't anyway. If you go up to Dow, if you have all the executives for Dow in this huge building, and you take the top 10 floors and you wipe it out, what's at the bottom? They're going to start, coming together, trying to run the business now. They're the big guys. They're going to run the business. So the idea is for them to be calm and relaxed and move forward in a proper way, in an organized fashion for one goal. To take care of a company, take care of the people in it. That's the way it should be, okay? So what do you get instead? You get a bunch of different people that get power hungry. All of a sudden they have the chance to be the big god, okay, the ones in charge. And then everybody is trying to, there's no way, no one's going to say you're the boss, you're the boss, you're the boss. There's no control. There's no system set up. There has to be one person that's recognized, or a couple, whatever, that are recognized to follow, to get things set up, to follow their format, the idea. If the people that put down that format just want to make money and abuse everyone, no one's going to be happy. But if these people really want this business and the people and everything to thrive, if they're not about themselves, they can make this work. And if they're smart, they teach them how to run things for themselves. And then they step aside. And then the business runs itself, and if there's a problem, they'll come in, handle it, and leave. That's exactly what's happening in your creation now. It's time. Again, these books I wrote, folks, I had to write these books. This is my last life. Okay? I call myself lots of times a tired old fart, Oh, don't call yourself that. It's self-degrading. I know what I am. I don't care what other people say about me. It's not that their opinion doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter much. It has no effect on me, what I am, why I'm here, what I'm doing. The more love, compassion that I see everywhere, the nicer things are. As long as something's not being abusive, it's going to be pretty much left alone. But if something's really causing issues, it's going to have its own place to go. And then if something really wants to be abusive or aggressive, it's going to be literally deleted, taken out. This is I'm speaking about on the second dimension, but what happens over there pretty much flows over here. People say, as on one side, so on the other. Not really true, but there are some very strong similarities. Before you have lives, which happens in a third dimension, before you have lives, your energy. If you could look at the fifth wave of souls, there were 5 waves of souls released. The fifth wave, very few of them have actually started having any lives. I met plenty of them that have had 19 lives, 21 lives, 23 lives. Folks, the average person has had hundreds of millions of lives. That's the average amount of lives that we've had in creation is hundreds of millions of lives. Lilly, parts of Lilly, have had over 8 trillion lives. I've had 10.846. That's a lot. And this is my last. This is my 220th life here on this planet. Exactly. Sylvia Brown, she used to say that, oh, you're an old soul. You've had 55, 56 lives. Wow. She could only see the lives someone had on this planet. And the Earth is relatively young. She's been around trillions of years, but like I said, relatively compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. So now, when the big stuff was taken out on the other side, that produced a void. There's no one in control. There's always, excuse me, there's always been problems here. It was made like, it's a nice part. Lilly just flashed the lights, and she's saying yes. There's a lot of little parts of Lilly and Arae hanging around, more so Lilly than Arae. What's in me, the primary focal point of Arae, the first one to come out, it's over half of Arae just stayed there. It could because of fortitude. Whereas with the Lillys, they came out quicker, and then the original first being male and female will go in and take out pieces of Arae and Lilly, take it out of the main body before they're ready. It's like something going into a pregnant woman and taking out the baby way before time. You have no idea the abuse of the original first being male and female. For their crimes against creation, they're now dead. When you protect something, you learn to love it. So they're dead now. Anyway, so many people say I'm so overly aggressive. I'm not. I'm a hammer with a heart in it. I think that when I heard that fit me just fine. There's stuff in old ancient myths that have some truth in it, but the truth always gets mixed around. The original first being male and female would literally go in your heads, run you. Angels would run you. Your spirit guides would do stuff to you that they didn't want to, but they were made to. So that angel right next to them, that big, great big angel, didn't beat them up. That's you, by the way, out of body, spirit guides. But if you think about like Thor, there was a person that was Thor. There was a person that was Loki. The human body that had Loki in it right now is Barry Newkirk. Also, his last life, he was Nikolai Tesla. Sometimes someone will look almost exactly like the life they were before. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's DNA that makes them look like it, but there's something different inside them. With him, in his case, he looks just like him. David Wilcock looks like Edgar Casey, but he's not. Edgar Casey is a female body in a female body this life. Anyway, it's, you know, things are what they are. They were made like that for a reason, to be somewhat abusive. The thing about Thor and the magic hammer that was made out of a star, out of a blown up star or something. Excuse me. It was enchanted. You throw it and it comes back. That hammer was literally made out of heavy particulate matter. It was so heavy you could not pick it up. Period. No regular humanoid body, no reptilian, nothing was strong enough to pick that thing up. There was a Thor too. But you know how he moved that hammer? Telekinesis. When you're able to, when you're strong enough, when you're allowed to move enough energy through your body, and that's relative to the DNA. That's why when I crank people up, and Virtue, Paul, everyone, when you crank someone up, when source, you have to be source crank someone up. Sorry, folks. There's one exception there is to that, and her name's Hitomi. She's not source, but she's had so much put in her, and all she does is want to help people with love. She'll take what's in her and you do what she can, and then the field is going to help her. So when she goes to crank someone up, it'll be different than being cranked up by full source person, but they will get elevated real strong, real hard. But anyway, the reason why you have to have all the two reasons. Number one, you have to have inside you all the different frequencies that exist everywhere, especially to go into the human body and then literally make the brain grow. Okay, and then number two, you have to be a power level that's strong enough to actually do that. When I've gone with people and cranked them up, 9 times out of 10, your brain size physically grows, your skull grows, it gets bigger, it doesn't get grotesque, it's not something like a cartoon. It's not like that. Okay, let's be real. But you're talking about you can make a physical brain grow. How can that be real? Well, it simply is. Let's go back to what I said earlier. Man was never meant to fly, or God would have given him wings. We fly all day long. They're called airplanes. Now there's shuttles that go out to, to the moon and stuff. So I've proven I can go into people's brains all over the world. I did it in with a gentleman out in Sweden. He's really cool. He had a QEEG done, quantitative electroencephalogram. Had to put on the device put on his head. The video's on in my channel. Look up QEEG on YouTube under my channel, John Essex or J Essex. John Essex is my legal name. J Essex is what I've always gone by. So, but when I opened up a new channel, I just used John instead. And for my company, John Essex Spiritual Consulting, I had to use John. It wasn't an option. That's my my birth name, what I call my legal name, and that's what I had to have on it without waiting another 3 months for something or other. I'm like, that's, you know, what the bank told me. You know, I said, whatever, doesn't matter. It's still me. But anyway, the head grows, people's abilities increase. The more awake they are, the more they feel it. But they still, your fortitude, people get stronger, healthier. When your body's in strong decay or going down, it's not going to help you as much. Will it help you? Yes. But it doesn't have, it won't crank you up as much because it's too busy healing, okay? When folks are younger, it hits them a little harder, okay? It's just like when you get a cut when we're older, or we bruise easier. The body's not, you know, it's in a downward stage, so it's not as, you do feel it, you see better, because the brain's still going. But it's not the same as, but it's not quite as strong as when folks are younger. It doesn't matter, still happens, okay? And you can feel inside the head sometimes some pressure where the brain does grow. When the brain grows inside your head, what happens? You feel pressure. Why? Number one, the brain starts to physically grow. Physically grow the brain size. This is proven. Okay? I've got whatchamacalls to prove it. MRIs. If you took an MRI on my head right now, my brain, and compare it with the one I had when I had to have some surgery done, sinuses, I've got 2 forms of lung disease. Okay, I've got COPD and something else, I don't know the name. It's chronic lower lung infections. I've had it all my life. I ran cross country and all those other half marathons and all kinds of sports, everything, baseball, football, whatever. It slows you down, but if you have enough fortitude, you just kind of burn your way through it. Anyway, still, sorry I'm floating off here. My own energy is working on my head. Anyway, because of that, I had the surgery. I had the MRI taken. Had to. Going into the sinus and cleaning all the polyps. I've got polyps all over the place, my lungs and sinuses. It's just DNA thing. So he cut out what he could, but before doing it, there's a hole in my skull, and at one point going in my sinuses that literally you get within less than a quarter of an inch of my brain, and one little poke, and that's it. So everybody was afraid to take it on except for this one doc, and he was really cool. He said, no problem. So I looked at him, I said, you're either really good or you have no idea what you're doing, but I already know you're really good. I said, great. And because I have that hole in my skull, when you take MRI, a later MRI, you know for a fact that that's me, because the hole's in the same place and there's no scar going into where the hole is. That's the quote-unquote definitive proof. But with other people, like the QEEG, when I went into Martin out in Sweden, first they did a run test on a quantitative electroencephalogram. The basic charts, proof of that is on thespiritualfoundation.com. And if you watch the video, it's a long one, okay, and it's not very good. But it's almost 2 hours. But if you watch it, it's pretty funny. When she runs a test on Martin, and you see you get the readout. You see everything moving around. You have to really look by the charts and everything. You can listen to what she says. You can't see the actual charts while it's happening that great. But when you see the printout charts, that's where you see the difference. And they're all over the spiritualfoundation.com. They're on a lot of my videos. So they did a test with Martin on there, and then after we got done with that'd be the control. Excuse me. Then we did it again. And when we did it again, this time I went into his hypothalamus. I put energy into his hypothalamus only. I didn't put energy through his whole brain and everything else. I just went to the hypothalamus gland and the immediately surrounding area. And I cranked up the energy in there. Not to hurt him, just to power up my energy. Okay? That's one gland. It wasn't the whole brain. It was just the hypothalamus. The thing about the hypothalamus, though, it's like a control point for your metaphysical abilities all in your brain. Okay? Folks, when I go inside your brain and do stuff, I see it. I'm there. I float around. I work on your head right here in front of me. And as I do that, you can see it and feel it, usually going through. The more solar plexus energy you are, the harder it is for you to feel it. Why is that? The solar plexus energy field is almost completely buried inside your core energy field, what they call the kundalini. It goes from where the spine hits the hip, all the way up over here over the head. That's your core. It goes up and down. Okay? When you're buried in, when 2/3 of that energy field is buried inside your core, you already have that spirit is all over the place inside you. It's all over the place. And folks, when I do this, it's soft. It's gentle. Your nose does not bleed. Okay? Your head doesn't crack open. Okay? You feel it more later. So in your solar plexus, it's like having a raincoat on, being out in a monsoon, and then somebody comes up with a water gun and squirts you. Okay? So you don't feel it as much. That doesn't mean you won't feel it, but it's soft anyway, so you're not going to feel it as much. It's just the way it is. You find out your fortitude, your strength builds up. What you see through your head, through imagery and everything, is much stronger. People who are solar plexus oriented are much stronger in the scanner area. I've had to pull more of my energy back into my head. Back into my body. And now when I move my hand around my head, it's starting to affect me again. I was expecting to be out of my body again for like the 5th or 6th time. Excuse me. Then stuff on the other side rises up to try to keep me in the body. And then I take it out. Then I get ready to go home, and then here comes something else. Right now there's a bunch of crazy little teeny pieces of Lilly and some teeny pieces of Arae that are being stupid. So I'm dealing with them. Jay's starting consults. He stops, he starts, he stops. That's gone on, I don't know, 4 times. I don't know how many. I don't count. I don't care. I don't like it. I'm tired of it. I want to get the hell out of here. I've built something really cool. I'm not quite finished building it, but I got to get out of this damn body to finish it. Then I just turn the switch on and boom, there it is. Anyway, trying to understand me is hard. What I tell you exists nowhere else. It's never been anywhere else. It's never been allowed to be anywhere else. The original first being male and female, they didn't want you to ever see any of this stuff. Know it? Hell no. They want to keep you in the dark, beat the hell out of you, make you big and stronger, so that you'd come out and all of a sudden you're bigger and larger. And then when they put you in a new universe, then you release more little worshippers. It's disgusting. Anyway, so when I do this, go in and do this, literally your brain grows in size. When you start feeling pressure inside your head, what's that about? Well, first off, the skull does move. It can flex and grow where the suture points are. Okay, plus it can be made to grow, period. it grows in size. It gets a little bigger, a little thicker. Okay, the brain itself grows and gets bigger, but you start feeling pressure in there. Why? Your glands are growing and stuff's growing inside your head. As your brain's growing, what feeds your brain? What for the human body? How do we feed the inside of it to keep living? What does it? What's the medium through which we feed the inside of our body, or whole body out, inside? Blood. Blood is oxygen from the lungs, nutrition from the intestines. It goes through the body and it feeds everything. Now, if that brain is physically growing, which it is, what does it need? More food. So what does it get? More blood. Okay, so depending on the person and the rate of growth, between a third and 2/3 of the amount of pressure, usually it's about 2/3 of the amount of pressure you feel in your head, is going to be the excess blood that's being pumped to you. And then, it'll be done to feed it, and then the growth period slows down, the blood falls away, and at night when you sleep, your brain opens up a little bit. Now sometimes you hear a crackling sound inside. When your pineal gland grows and moves, just moving within the brain material itself, it makes a crackling sound. You would swear that it's your bones stretching or breaking or something. Sometimes people really freak out. Don't. Remember that these vibrations are hitting the outside of your inner ear. Okay, those bones for your ears, for the inside your brain, those vibrations directly hit the outside. So they're much stronger than what goes in through the eardrum and makes them vibrate on the inside. You hear it differently. And it is a stronger pulse, stronger vibration. So it sounds different. Anyway, so now there's this issue with having to keep taking stuff out. When you're in a body, the other side never listens to you. How come you keep praying to this God, nothing ever happens? Well, number one, the original first being, male and female, they didn't give a damn. They were going to put you through the abuse they wanted you to go through to make sure you grew enough. They were growing cattle, chicken. They didn't care. That's all you were. And they used their angels as their main, servants to abuse you. Maintain a certain amount of abuse. Mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, they exist for one thing, reason to bug you, to be a pain in the ass. That's soft stuff. Some rich people just keep getting richer, making your lives more miserable. That's controlling you. Look at what's going on right now. ISIS and all this other stuff. Folks, that's a little group of people that's put together through the Anunnaki that run this planet. Jay talks about spiritual, he talks about beings in space, he talks about all this crazy stuff. So one-stop shop to reality, the real one, not only what you see and feel with your eyes. That's important. This is the third dimension, the physical dimension, the physical realm, as we like to say in Fae. They're real. Man, there's so much stuff coming in that people are going to be aware of. The Fae actually making bodies. You'll see energy form in front of you, and then it gets more and more solid, reaches out a hand, shakes your hand, and then falls away into energy again. But first you got to get used to the fact that we have all these other family members, beings from other planets. Why do people look different from one planet or another? Well, because the bodies come from the planet. There's so much stuff in there, folks. Again, bada boom, bada bing. Okay? That's your knowledge. You want to know what the hell's going on, where it came from, how it started, what's happening? You go there. You'll find it. Whatever. Also, to help you wake up, here's those other cards I was looking for. Anyway, I wrote a book about runes. I use the Elder Fruit Arc, but give it different meanings. What works today with your awakening? Inside, That's just some old fart that's playing around making runes. I used to actually make runes. A bunch of different symbols. Okay, there's I don't know how many there are. I made them, but I don't remember. There's the Elder Futhark, which they say is 22 and 23. It's 23, and then there's more. I don't know if there's 47, 48, 53. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. They're all in here. This is the meaning for it. Okay. Then this is the cards. Dragon and unicorn energy are very real. They're from the very beginning. They're from Lilly and Arae. This is relax. That's a good thing for me. It's hard for me to do. Okay, there's a few wild cards, a couple wild cards in here have unicorn and dragon, and then some just have dragon, some have unicorn. What's that? This means activate the pineal right now, real hard to see something. Dragon. This is the dragon wild card. The dragon card is not a wild card. That's funny. That's another one. This is water. Find your balance. Temperance. Okay? Let things flow. You can pull these cards and they'll literally help you awaken. I just did a video where I just pulled 3-4 cards, and I was talking about something, I pulled them there, boom, boom, there it was. Folks on the other side, they can literally go back in time and shuffle things up. Have you act differently to shuffle it up. You have no idea who you are, what you really are, what you can do. There's a way to read license plates. When a car gets thrown in front of you or hits the brakes and you're forced to look at the back of it, there could be a message for you on the license plate. I'll try to get that done before I go. I'll always do as much as I can for you, but I got to get the hell out of here. It's amazing how, some people, they say it's amazing, Jay. I've never met anyone that wanted to leave so quick to die, and it's not death. It's going home. It's opening up the door to go where we really live. It's like you went on vacation and the vacation turned to hell every time you go in a body. Are there nice moments? Yes, there have to be. Otherwise, everybody would commit suicide at 10. 10 years old, you'd be ready to get the hell out of your body. Things aren't what they are. I can talk for weeks if I had the time, and I don't, and you don't either. You have a lot of stuff you have to do. Folks, everything you need to wake up is at thespiritualfoundation.com. I've written you the information for books to tell you what's out there. Thank you. That's part of Lilly, and she's saying, now get the hell out of your body. It's like, really? Like I'm not trying. Talking with spirit. It's all over the place. They're all over the place. The more you awaken, the stronger you get, the more you do this. When I crank you up, you get cranked up. Folks, you change. Okay? I can't turn anyone into Superman. Okay? I can't make you fly. But I can help you with energy, softly evolving your body, and help you literally astral project to get out of your body and go see stuff. These emanation spheres. I got to build a few more. I'm going to build a few, for customers. I'm way behind taking care of. I'm going to, after I'm done getting all the packages out, I'm going to make some extra ones that I'm sending to Deanna. Deanna can make them. Paul can make them. Berju can make them. Full Source can make them. Okay? Some source energy in a body. I shouldn't say full source. It doesn't matter. It's source or it's not. Except with like Hitomi. I'm sure there's another 2, 3, 4 maybe on the planet, but she can crank things up. It won't be as strong as Source doing it, but it won't be too much different. It'll be really close. Depending on how powerful the Source is. Paul, Berju, Deanna, Siobhan, and there's so many of them. Susanna, I can't name them all. Barry and Petra are incredibly strong up in Canada. They're going to be doing this stuff and doing it for you. Folks, our friends in space, they're coming down here. You're going to meet them. They have equipment. They can read energy. They know who Source is. So, In 7, 8 years from now, there's going to be some new players here on the planet that, as children, are going to be freaks when it comes to this stuff. The FBI, you folks down there, you call me the freak. You're right. So funny when they used to follow me around. But anyway, these folks in ships and stuff, and some of the folks here, as a matter of fact, what's his face? Little meathead Microsoft. He's got his own little. Steve Jobs had one too. It's a scanner where you can see the future. You see into the future, but you can only go so far. It's hard to regulate when the farther you try to get away. But the future changes so much. When you only get about 2 weeks away, you can see something that's very relevant. You know, you can work with 2 weeks, 2 months. You're having some issues. 2 years, forget it. But there's a few things that no matter who looks, as long as it's a good scanner, as long as it's operating, they see a few things happen that are very consistent, so they know certain things. But they also have equipment where they can read the energy inside you. They can tell you about your past lives, because these folks are the ancient races, folks. They've been around for trillions of years, many trillions of years. You know, the Drak are the oldest, and then the Antids are the next oldest. They have equipment that's incredible. But they read your frequencies, and then because they've had it so long, they can literally see different lives you've been in on different planets. And they know who you are when they read your frequency. They see yellow gold. They see the gold and the silver. If that's inside your energy, you're source. Or you've been imbued with source, one or the other. Those of you that I've cranked up, Paul and Brigitte, they leave source in you. You know, I've been leaving about 10% or more. Source energy inside, put it in you. Want to put it in you when your body dies and you go home, you keep about 10% of that energy in you. Source energy, it enhances who the hell you are forever. Anyway, I want the best for you. I know I didn't fully explain a lot of stuff. I'm going to do a few more consults, and that's it. You know, I've said that 4 times before, I think. But this body is dying. Herky's dying. Herky's the last, personal animal I had that I saved. I feed cats, animals, everything out there. Stuff people say I shouldn't. I don't care. Including the police and the rest of these folks. There's a lot of wonderful people that are in, that are policemen, some wonderful people in governments, and at the lower ends of it anyway. But like anything else, you have headaches. People who aren't cool on the inside, they're aggressive. So, and it takes 0 negative frequencies within spirit, sentient energy, to be negative, to be aggressive, abusive, to act negatively, and to be abusive. That's just arrogant. It's disgusting. So anyway, it's like right now, like I said, I'm trying to take out the rest of the trash. Every time I do that, there's always something that pops up. But my health's just continually being taken down. So is Herky's. When Herky's done, very soon thereafter I'll be done, and he's really close. So when it's time, nothing will keep me here. I've tried to pull my own energy back into me, to do a few things, and it just doesn't. It says no. We're leaving. We're not staying. But it put more into me because I need it right now. I need to be able to maintain while I finish doing what I'm doing now. So because this other stuff that wants me in a body, because it wants to. Remember I was talking about the business, the big building, and you knock the first top 10 floors off and everything else comes up. As soon as you get rid of some of the headaches, then here come new ones. They just come up through the ranks, through the floors. They start coming up, causing problems. So the biggest way they've had to keep me from doing anything is banging on my head hard. I had part of Lilly working on my head so hard yesterday, it was crazy. While she was doing that, I was inside. From the part of me outside, which is huge, was in my head, protecting me, making sure that she didn't do anything to hurt me, but allowing her to mess with my head. And while he was in there, he was making my brain a little softer, you know, making it, when I say softer, I'm not talking about the brain matter softer, but making it easier for me to come out when it's time so I can flow right out. But this piece of Lilly that was there, and there's thousands of them, little teeny pieces, that pot of water boiling, the little overexcited and, you know, problematic stuff jumps out. Yeah, that stuff. She hit my head so hard I couldn't walk. I mean, I could barely walk, but I was leaning on the walls and I couldn't even see anything. I said, "Holy crap!" Later on, I was talking with Siobhan out in Ireland, and I'm teaching her how to see things and understand. And see, we're all of us are naturals at this. We just need a little guidance to get going. It's like somebody holding a bike while you're trying to ride it the first time. Excuse me. Love my coffee. Then you hold the bike when someone's trying to ride it, and boom, then they get it, and they just take off. Why? It's natural. They just need a little help getting started. That's all. Okay, so I help you all do that, but I change what you are. Your head grows and everything else. You get, yeah. And 10% of what I do to you, that stays there permanently. So, and you know, a lot of people just say, he can't do this, he's full of crap. And then over the years they say, well, he can do it, but, you know, he's a devil or something, whatever. You know, all that religion stuff is all full of bunk. But your abilities do grow. Like I said, I'll never be able to make someone fly through the air, but I can help you, make you strong enough, help you increase your ability, and teach you a little bit about releasing your energy so that you can take off. I've got DVDs that I've written for that stuff to help you with different things. That's on thespiritualfoundation.com, about to understand energy, not how to astral project. That's something that you just have to relax and then you flow forward and do. That's why there's all these videos on YouTube. They're free, they're for you. It's about information. The money that people have given me for consults, it doesn't just keep me and Herky and the other animals alive. I mean, I'm buying all kinds of stuff and equipment for a few people that are immediately needing it to continue what's going on. And it's not about, they're not about themselves, they're about everything. That's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, I gotta run. Folks, love you. Change is coming. It's strong. It's hard. You're going to see. You're going to find out. Love you. Have a good.
Hello. My name's Jay Essex. I go into people's heads, crank them up, make them a lot stronger as far as their metaphysical abilities. They're not gifts, they're abilities. All of you had them when you were created, when you first came out. I live on what people call the other side. It's multidimensional. I just see what's out there, understand what's out there, how it got to be there. I'm very different. I'm not status quo by any means. Besides, when people say normal, what does that mean? That's what someone else wants you to be, and there's usually a reason why they want you to be that way. Just be yourself, because you have no idea how awesome that actually is. But I go in your heads and I actually crank you up. You can, those that are awake can actually feel me go inside your brain. I go into the different brain centers, the hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, and I help expand your mind. I actually change your organs. My skull has actually grown 2.5 inches in height and 3.5 inches in girth in less than 2 years' time, just as I get ready to do what I'm here to do. A lot of you know me in the southeast U.S. I've gone to a lot of people out of the country. I can go to you, it doesn't matter where you are. All I have to do is think of you and I'm right there. So anyway, I don't know exactly, there's so much to say, I don't know where to start. You all have all kinds of abilities that are being kept quiet, kept low. Your religions take care of that, your governments take care of that. There's things that actually run this planet. They know about me. They don't care. They can't do anything about what's going to happen. I've talked with a few of them. It doesn't matter. All this is about you, not me. I'm just your tool. Okay, I'm here to actually make you a lot stronger, help you see. I've got a list of people that can talk to you and tell you what I did for them. So anyway, all I'm doing right now is just reaching out to you and give you a chance to access what I can do to you. Again, the name is J. Essex, E-S-S-E-X. Phone number 770-885-5619. Email is unclejay2010@live.com. You can also go to essenite.com, ESSENITE.com. There's also intuitiveawarenessgroup.com. Those are the people I've gone into, cranked up and made a lot stronger. All these are only front page websites. When the money's available, I'll do more with them. If you really want to come awake, if you're a reader, if you're just a waitress, a mechanic, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this in them. I can go in your head and crank you up. So all I'm saying is, do you want it or not? I'll give you references if you want to talk to the people. It's good stuff. You're so much more than you think you are. You're so much more than you're allowed to know you are. It's time to wake up. Call me.